it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today is another of our 13 Days of Halloween series, and we are making this. Now, the idea behind this was that I picked up a packet of the Reese peanut butter cup. These are the snack size, so they're a couple of inches across. I think, well, the actual cup is probably 1.5 inches across, but it was really a question of how to pretty them up, ready for trick or treat. So this is what I came up with, and as you will see, it's basically just a cover for the Reese cup, but it's a fun project, so I thought I would share it with you. We do need to go a little bit mad on punches for this project, so this really is one for the people with punches, but it is a fun little project, so I thought I would share it. So I have done a little bit of prep, but only a little bit, because there's a lot of scoring involved. So this piece of card is 1.5 inches deep by just the full 12 inches across, and I have scored oops, actually this is the wrong way up. I have scored every 1/4 inch, but I've done 1/2 inch gaps in one direction, then turned over and did 1/2 inch gaps in the other direction. So I'm just finishing off the final. So this lot are actually on the 1/2 inch. The previous ones I did on the 1/4 and 3/4 inch, which I hope makes sense. So these all the way across at the 1/2 and full inch, and then the ones on the other side I did at the 1/4 and the 3/4 inch the whole way across. But I thought having to see all of that in a video might be a little bit mind-numbing. So the other thing to do next is with the ticket border punch. I have just prettied the edge a little bit, and all you do with that is start anywhere, punch, and then just line up the pattern on the silver. Let me see if I can show you that. So you can see there's this silver edge, and if you line up your pattern, then you just punch again. Now that's easy for the first couple because you've obviously got the pattern to line up on. What I actually find easier is to turn the whole thing over and line it up on the inside so that I know that I am on the right place, because it's such a repetitive pattern. The ribbon border punch is easier because it's got a very more obvious pattern, but this is just the same. So you can see I've just lined up this last little bit and punch that out, and then I'll tidy that last bit up at the end, and then I'm just going to line up through the back of the punch, draw it down, line it up, and so long as you've got a bit of resistance against the top edge here, because this is where your butt board is, then you know you're going to end up with a straight punch, which is what we're looking for. So just line it up. Whoops. Of course, because it's on camera, this is taking 10 times longer than it needs to, because life's like that. Couple more and then we'll be there, and then I just need to tidy up the other end and we'll be good to go. The last ones are always the hardest because you've got no butt board, but that's that, and that I'll, yeah, just sneak that in at the end there. Good. Okay, so that's that done. I have got over to one side a hot glue gun, because that will be our friend. And now all I'm doing is folding so that the mountain is... Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way. The mountain should be on the inside, that's why it's not feeling right. So just concertina it with the mountain and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. So I see these as mountains and these as valleys, and I always fold towards the mountain, so capture the mountain in the middle. It just seems to fold better that way. Both cardstock and pattern paper, so the designer series paper. And obviously you can choose any pattern of designer series paper. I just thought it was fun to use the stripes because then you get that lovely circle effect of the stripes. And do you like my Halloween nail varnish? I do like, as you've probably noticed, I do like my nail varnish. So I thought I would do special Halloween nail varnish. I didn't get it sorted out for the first few videos, but hopefully for the rest of the series we will have good Halloween nail varnish, and whether it stays the same through the whole series will depend on how quickly I manage to get all the videos done before chipping my nails. Simple as that. Right, so there we are. That's all nicely concertinaed. We can sort out the bits that are less beautiful in a moment. Then all we need to do is overlap one whole V, and for that I'm going to use fast fuse because there will be quite a lot of pressure on that once we've got the whole thing together. So make sure you've got good coverage, and then just line that up. Can you actually? Yes, you can. Having a bit of a lighting problem again today, for which many apologies, but we will get there. I think what I might have to do is actually change my background because part of the problem is it's too reflective. So that then all squishes nicely into a circle, but obviously we need to stick it to something. So what I've got are a bit of pumpkin pie. This is the 2-inch circle punch, and I'm just going to punch one of those. And you could use actually 2 of those. Let's do 2 of those. In fact, that's what I was planning to do. It's sad, isn't it? So 2 of those, and then this one I'm going to put some hot glue on, and then I want that to be the other way up so I can squish onto that circle. I'm going to put this is my trusty silicone mat and my very old hot glue gun, but it still works, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I do find for things like this, hot glue is the way to go. Let's pop that over there just to keep it out of the way. And because it's hot, not warm glue, because you can get cool melt glue, but because it's hot, it does actually stay warm for a reasonable amount of time. Which is good. So I do then just need a small circle, and it can be frankly any colour, so I'll use the pumpkin pie, just to hold the top down. And this is the 1-inch circle punch. So this, is that reasonably glued? Yes. It doesn't matter too much if that's not beautiful, because you're going to stick the cup onto it. So I'm just going to pop a little bit more hot glue in the middle of my circle, or my concertina, and then just pop that on top and hold that in place. And I'm just going to turn this off before I go any further, because otherwise I could end up with hot glue running everywhere, which is not a good look. As I don't have it doesn't have an on-off switch on the actual gun, so I have to turn it off at the wall. So that is now nicely stuck together. And as I say, hot glue is, if you can get hot glue rather than the cool melt glue, I would certainly recommend it. So what I now need is a piece of cardstock that is big enough to I didn't have enough scrap. So what we are going to do next is, with our spooky cat, I am taking the cat, because it's absolutely what I want, and a block. It will just about fit on a C block, but frankly, because I've got a D block, I prefer a D block. Memento ink. You could use the basic black, but if I can get away with Memento, I prefer to use Memento because it then doesn't stain the stamp the way that the basic black does. Not that that's an issue as far as using it is concerned. It just, I think it looks prettier if it's not stained, I mean. So I'll just quickly clean that up with my trusty stamping scrub. So that's beautifully clean, and oh, I do need that still. And now I am going to grab the label. Let's get rid of that because I don't really need it in the way. So get the label. I'm going to do all the stamping and then we can do the punching. So a piece of Very Vanilla, and again Memento, and just stamp down. And up. Clean that up. Bring in another block. And I've got a strip of Very Vanilla as well. And this is one of the strips I have left over from when I'm doing my mats. So it's an arbitrary width. But you will see how wide it needs to be in a moment. So I am just going to ink this kind of funny woody-ish pattern. Ink that up. We need to stamp it off and then use it, but that's fine. So I'll stamp it off and then use it. Let's say this is a scrap anyway, so I've just got that slightly faint image. So I don't want it too strong a colour. And then grab my Happy Halloween, pop that down so that it can relax a bit because it's a long thin. So I like it to relax a bit. If you saw my top tip video last week, you will see that that was what that was all about. And then just in the middle of where we've stamped the background, just Happy Halloween. So that's that. That is all of the stamping we need to do. So pop that away. And then we can put the whole thing together. So, don't need those blocks. This is the classic label punch. It's perfect for this. It fits round nicely. Means you can get a bit of the background image and the Happy Halloween. Let's try and line it up so it's actually square on the Happy Halloween. So that's that. Oh. And then this I'm going to punch out with the new Everyday Label Punch. This is the new punch that is in the Autumn Winter catalogue. And it fits perfectly round the A Wicked Yummy Treat for You. And then that I will stick to this in a minute. But first, with the back of this, and again I'm going to need my silicone mat for this, I'm going to pop a bit of Fast Fuse down the length of that. And, oops, or not apparently, missed the beginning. Just make sure you've got the, there'll be a little bit of an overhang possibly, so just tuck that under. And then with the lovely vintage crochet trim, I'm just going to, I need to keep checking that you can still see me. I'm just adding this to the two edges of the little Happy Halloween strip, and then trim. Time to clean my scissors, I think. They're getting a bit sticky. And again, there. trim. So 2 just very small bits of the trim. Then dimensionals. Shall I use the edges or the... No, I'll use full bits. It will help stick everything together. They're just narrow enough that you can stick them across the back without them poking out. Obviously with the trim that helps, but I will put a third one on purely to help stick the trim down. You can see that you can't see the dimensionals from the front, which is what we want. So let's peel those backings off and pop that as square as possible on there. Don't need the silicone mat anymore, so let's clear the decks. Right, the cat punch, which is part of the bundle with the stamp set, so if you want them both, remember to use the bundle code, not the individual codes, and it will save you 10% on the total, and we'd like saving. So that's the cat sorted out, and then all we need to do is put the whole thing together. Yay! So I'm going to stick that to one side. Now we've got this nice flat surface, so we can pop some fast fuse on that, and I'll put a lot on. I'm also going to pop some fast fuse across the end, not the end, but across just the end bit, so that I can try and attach a little bit of this to the background. But I'm perfectly happy with it hanging off the edge. Then the cat, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue. And of course what I should have done is put some fast fuse on the back as well, so that's fine. We'll use some tear and tape instead, which I can do in midair, but fast fuse is probably the way I should have gone. So I'll just add a bit of tear and tape. I can tuck that end in, so that's fine. Fortunately there is a little bit of time before the glue sets, which would be so much easier if I could get the backing off the tape. There we are, tuck the end in, and then holding that up so that it doesn't touch the card until it has to, just tuck that in. And actually I've gone a bit off the edge, so probably best that I didn't use fast fuse. So let's just pull that up and trim it away. You see, you get warts and all on my videos. In fact, but then that's why you join me, isn't it? It's so that you can see how a real crafter crafts. Okay, let's put a bit more glue on, because I've managed to wipe most of that off onto my finger. So pop that in under there. That's better. So we've got our spooky cat. Bring in our Reese Buttercup and Peanut Buttercup, I suppose I should say. Bit of fast fuse on the back. Pop that. Actually, let's do it from the back. Pop that so that it's sort of in the middle. Then fast fuse on your spare circle. And that then goes, and you don't need to really add that bit, I just think it makes it look more finished if it's got a backing as well. And there you are, 2 Happy Halloween. Ooh, that one's not stuck on. How on earth did that happen? Forgot to put the dimensionals on. Duh. That was me. So you really have seen it in the raw. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed that. Remember that there is an offer on selected designer series paper. Spooky Night is not one of them, but there are all sorts to choose from, and you get to choose which one. You buy 3, get a 4th free, and you get to choose which that 4th is. So that's always good. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that, in spite of my brain meltdown yet again. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get to see all the madness I've got to offer over the next few weeks. I'm getting very near to my 2,000 subscribers in time for my birthday. In fact, by now I may have 2,000 subscribers, but let's go for more than 2,000. That would be brilliant. And I shall see you again tomorrow. Thanks all again for watching. Bye!